Now, the topic before us is financial implications within the context of educational planning. We have already learned that career counselors guide and support us when we are to take a decision with regard to our career. They help us in identifying our own self. They help us in career exploration. They help us in goal setting. The career counselors also help us in educational planning. They inform us about the educational requirements of our chosen career. That is, if we want to become, say, an engineer, they will tell us what education is required to become an engineer. It may be BTech or any other. The career counselor will also tell us what are those institutions, which are those colleges or universities which are providing the relevant education qualification which we want to acquire. The career counselors will also guide us in respect of the trainings which may be required if we want to achieve our career goal. When the career counselors are guiding us with regard to the various courses, various institutions providing those courses, the career counselors also guide us with regard to the financial implications of the education. It means that education is also comes with cost. We have to spend something to acquire education. If we want to, say, become an engineer, we will have to spend on getting admission. We will have to spend on the textbooks. If we get admission offline in your university, it may be quite possible that the university is at some distance, say 500 kilometers away. Then we will have to stay there in the city or in the university campus. We will have to bear the expenses of residing and eating there. The continuous online education expenses will also be there because we will have to purchase study material from time to time. We will have to incur expenses towards the extra classes or the tuition works which we will have to go in addition to the university classes. So the career counselor will guide you in respect of the costs which you may have to incur if you want to acquire a particular qualification or education. So now we will read what is written. Financial implications are an important consideration in education planning and career counseling. When we are taking the decision with regard to our career, we must take into account the cost of education. The cost of education may differ from individual to individual, and it will also differ on the basis of type of institution. It means that the institution which may be providing the education may be private. If it is a private, the expenses are likely to be more. If it is a government owned institution, it is a government college or government university, the expenses will naturally be less. Next is the cost of education also depends on type of degree, course or training. If you are getting admission for say vocational training where duration is only few months to 1 year, in many cases it may be government owned vocational school where the expenses are very less, because you will be getting the skills to become say a carpenter, an electrician or a plumber or HVAC technician or something like that job, other work, where you get the experience or the education in respect of acquiring certain skills. So the expenses will be very less, cost of education will be less. But if you are going for say becoming acquiring a education such a degree such as MBA in marketing, the expenses will be likely much more. But if you want to acquire some special education or special degrees, say if you want to become say a doctor, then the expenses may range in India. If you get admission in government institution, the expenses may range from say, I am saying only approximately, it may vary, say 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. But if you get admission for a MBA BS degree in say some private institution, then the expenses may range from 50 lakhs or above. So the cost of education depends on the type of degree or the education or the course or training which you want to have. The cost of education also depends on the location. If the college is located in some remote area, it may be quite possible that the college authorities may be giving education at less rate. But if the institution is located at a prime location in say metro city or in a big city, the cost of education will is likely to be on the very much on the higher side. The private institutions, if they are from a reputed group, they may be having good staff, good buildings, good infrastructure, they will be charging much more. So the cost of education depends upon various factors. The career counselors also help the clients to compare the costs of different options. That is, if you study in this college, the expenses is likely to be this one. If you decide to study in this college, the expenses will be this one. They will help you in comparing the cost of getting the same degree or the same course, but the institutions are different. They will help you in comparing the cost so that you can make appropriate decision on the basis of your own resources. It may be possible that you are from a very rich family and your parents will have no difficulty to spend much amount or to spend a large amount of money on your education. But if you are from a middle class family or from a poor family, then it may not be possible for your parents to spend much on your education. Then this point of of financial implications of the education is more relevant. The career counselor also provide you knowledge in respect of another important aspect, and that is return on investment. The return on investment is normally used in the financial world where an investment is made. When we are pursuing some study, we are also making an investment for future. That is, we will think the expenses which we are spending on our education as an investment, and the career counselor will tell us what salary or what monetary benefits you are likely to get in future when you complete the degree and get a job. That is, say, they may tell you that if you become a doctor and if you land in a government job, that is, you become a government doctor, then you may get the salary, say, in India, say rupees 80,000 rupees. But if you get job in a normal hospital, private hospital, you may get salary of rupees, say, rupees 40 to 50,000. But if you become specialist, say, become MD or MS and get job in some reputed hospital at a national level, then you may earn in lakhs. So they will tell you about the return on investment. Suppose if you think that the career counselor tells you that you can become a doctor by getting admission in a private college because you are unable to get admission in government medical college, then you had no option but to get admission in private medical college, and that private medical college is likely to charge, say, rupees 50 lakhs for the whole period of the education. It is just for an example. And if you think that this is likely to be the investment or the likely expenses which will be incurred by you during the whole period of course of getting the MBBS degree, then if you think that you are likely to get, say, rupees 40,000 per month as salary if you get admission in a private college, private hospital, normally it is the monthly remuneration, it is the normal range, then you will, this is the investment, this is the return, then you will have to think whether it is justified, whether I should spend 50 lakhs in the current date. If you are having enough resources because your parents are in a position to spend the same, then you may think that at least I will have the degree of doctor before my name, then you may do so. So the career counselors provide insight into the possible return on investment of different educational choices so that the clients make informed decisions that align with their financial circumstances. They may also guide you that you may have different career options. That is, you may opt for becoming an engineer, you may also opt for becoming a, say, pilot, you may also opt for becoming some marketing manager. They will tell you the financial implications of each of these careers if you are interested to become so. They will tell you this is the amount which is likely to be spent if you want to become an engineer. In this college, this will be the cost. In this college, this will be the cost. If you become to become a pilot, this will be the cost if you study in this training institute, and this will be the expenses if you study in this institute. So on the basis of your career goal and keeping in view your financial resources, you can decide appropriately, that is where you should go. The career counselor also tells his client about the various scholarships, grants and loans that he may get, and that can help the client pay for your education and training. That is, these scholarships, grants and loans can help you in paying for your education and training. Ultimately, if it is a loan, you will have to repay the same. Please keep this in mind. A few suggestions that they make, that is, the career counselor may give you some suggestions. That is, you may enroll in an inexpensive community college. That is, if you are from a middle class family or a poor family, and your parents cannot afford to pay for the higher education costs, then they may tell you that to achieve your career goal, you may also get education by getting admission in some inexpensive community college, or you can simultaneously do part-time job while pursuing a degree, so that you can manage the expenses of education. Now we will try to understand the same with the help of an example. There is a person named Emily. He wants to pursue his career in career graphic designing. She's interested, she's having passion that she should opt for graphic designing. She wants to get admission in prestigious art school so that she may become a good graphic designer. But at the same time, she is from a middle class or poor class family. She cannot afford the high tuition fees of prestigious art school. You must understand that the prestigious art schools or the private institutions will normally charge the higher tuition fees. The cost of education in private or prestigious schools is on the very high side. Mostly they are located in urban cities. They provide excellent infrastructure facilities, good libraries, good buildings, and they may be having experienced faculty members. So naturally, the expenses of studying in private reputed institutions is likely to be on the higher side. Career counselor does financial assessment of Emily. It means that he discusses the financial status of Emily with her. That is, what are your parents doing, whether they are working, whether they are doing job, whether they are you are having some family business, what is the monthly income of your parents, or what is the salary of your parents, what is your family status. So the career counselor gets the knowledge about the financial status of Emily's family, and he also tries to assess what amount the Emily's parents can contribute towards her education. The career counselor also tells Emily about different art schools, community colleges, or traditional universities that offer graphic design programs. Though Emily is interested to study in some private prestigious art school, the career counselor also informs him about the various other options from where he can get the required education. That is, there may be some other, he tells her about other traditional universities, community colleges, or other art colleges, art schools that may be also providing the graphic designing program. The career counselor also discusses with Emily tuition fees, living expenses, and other costs associated with each educational institution. That is, the career counselor discusses with him that if he discusses in community college, the tuition fees will be this, living expenses will be this, and other expenses may be this. If he studies in a traditional university, this will be the tuition fees, this will be the living expenses, this will be the other expenses. That is, he discusses the cost aspect in respect of each educational institution which provides the graphic designing program. And he also informs, that is the counselor also informs Emily about the option of online course where the cost of education is likely to be on the lower side. Now the career counselor also informs Emily about the various institutions that offer scholarships or other financial aid options. The career counselor also discusses with Emily return on investment. That is, if you study in this college, this will be the expenses, that this is will be the investment, and this will be the return. That is, he will discuss the potential return on investment in respect of each education choice. That is, if he studies in this college, this may be the return. So by researching different educational options and its financial implications, that is, if you study in this college, this will be the financial implication, this will be the cost, this will be the benefit, and after doing all the research or imparting the necessary information to Emily, now the Emily can take an informed decision regarding the educational institution that fits her financial situation and allows her to achieve her career goal. That it is the Emily which has to take the decision finally with regard to her educational institution or the course which he wants to study, where he wants to study. It is the final decision of the client from where he wants to study. The career counselor only, the role of the career counselor is only to provide him the relevant information. What are the various career options, from where he can study, what type of educational information, educational requirement is there for achieving the career goal. The ultimate decision, that is the client has to take decision on the basis of various factors which has been communicated by the career counselor. Career counselor continues to work with clients over time to monitor the progress in achieving educational and career goal. It is not that he has guided his client about the various institutions and now the role of career counselor is over. The career counselor continues to monitor the progress of the client towards the educational and career goal. The career counselor provides guidance to his client to make necessary adjustment to the educational plans as needed. It may happen that with the passage of time, some adjustments may have to be made in the educational plan. So the career counselor monitors the education planning, the progress of the client from time to time. Educational plans are not static. Education plans can change as individuals gain new experience and insights. It may be possible that with the passage of time, the goals of the client may change. It may be also possible that life circumstances of the client may change. Life circumstances of the student may change. Financial situations of the family of the student may change. There may be some health problem in the family of the student. There may be some health issues of the client, that is the student. So all this may necessitate that there may be some change or modification in the education plan to accommodate new realities. That in view of the new realities, some modifications may have to be made, and the career counselor helps the client in modification of the educational plan if the circumstances so what. Overall, the career counselor plays a very vital role in helping the client to develop education plans that not only support their career goals, that is, if he wants to become, say, an engineer, he will develop the plan education plan that he achieves his career goal and becomes an engineer. But the career counselor also takes into account what is the financial position of the client. Irrespective of the career goal, career counselor helps you develop an educational plan to achieve them so that you are satisfied with your career in future. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.